What's up, everyone? Thanks for tuning in today. I am thrilled to be joined by Coach Yak of 4th and 9. Coach, thank you so much for joining me. How are you doing today?
Thanks for having me. I'm doing really well.
All right. Guys, going to be talking to 49ers like usual, and let's get right into it. Coach, how does a team that just made it to the Super Bowl and was so close to winning it, how do they improve on a year like that?
It's tough. And the reason why I'm saying it's tough is you got a lot of things that can go wrong. Injuries is obviously the biggest factor in it. But this team's different in a way because they got leaders, a ton of leaders, actually. So as long as we stay healthy, I can see a 12-win team and making another run at the Super Bowl. Um, are we favorites? I would say yes, we are. New Orleans is going to be tough. Possibly Seattle. They're going to be a thorn in our side. Their defense is a little suspect, especially on the defensive line. They did have a really good run D. Now you're adding a lot of talent on the back end of that, so it's definitely going to be they're going to be an issue. And as long as they got Wilson on the other side of the ball, they're always going to be in every game.
Yeah, it seems like no matter, as long as they have him, like you said, they're an issue, and it's unfortunate because he's that thorn that just won't go away. Exactly well said. Coach, recently the 49ers announced that all of their players were not placed, or none of their players, were placed on their physically unable to perform list. How big is that impact of all of these guys returning from injury?
Well, obviously we just seen that a couple did come, just basically opted out right due to the virus. No make it or break it. Coleman's obviously the biggest one that's not returning. So, you got a lot of things to factor in with that. I would say it's not the end of the world, especially when you have players like Jalen Hurd coming back now, so things offset and obviously take the offense to a different level with Hurd. McKinnon, they're the two biggest ones there. Then you look through the draft and you're adding to it there with Kinlaw and Ayuk. So, it's me personally, I look at it as a better team. And I've said that on Twitter that we're actually going to be better this year. But at the same time, it's health. It's going to come down to health. But we got the talent. We're definitely going to be stacked. I was big on Trent Taylor last year. Now we look at it with the foot, 5 surgeries. He's back. He looks great in off-season training, so you start to get, emotionally just attached to what you're seeing on video. We just saw him run a straight line in camp. It looked like he was, he's busting it there. We saw what he did when he was training with Kittle, and we saw it out there. So, it's an emotional roller coaster with him just because he wasn't running routes in Nashville. But like I said, after that, you've seen a lot. So we're going in the right direction there. We got a lot of pieces that are coming back, and once we get those guys back being healthy, it's going to be a totally different team that you saw compared to last year.
Yeah, when that report came out that, guys like McKinnon, Hurd, Taylor, like you spoke of, they were, pretty much ready to go, full participants. That I got so excited. I'm like, right. When's the last time we've talked about guys like Trent Taylor and Jalen Hurd that are healthy, that are not, on that list and stuck kind of in no man's land when it comes to injury? And Coach, the 49ers did sign a couple of undrafted free agents. Kyle Shanahan loves his undrafted free running backs. Is there one in particular that you're keeping an eye on?
Well, it's definitely going to be Hasty. Here's the thing with that position there. You got a camp that's not like every other year, right? You got the virus now, so everything's shortened. So he's going to have to pass the eye test from day one. Obviously with contracts expiring at the end of the season, you got McKinnon's contract, you got Coleman's, you got Wilson, a lot of guys that are going to expire. So if Hasty can pass the eye test from day one, because he's definitely got it, even if he comes on chipping in at special teams. Now, I don't know if you've seen anything of his special teams play, but he's really good at that as well. It's not just a running back. He's got a 4.5 speed, but he plays more then his speed, he does show signs of that, fast open field vision. He's got that, but he's low center of gravity. He hits like a Mack truck. So he's got a couple of aspects to his game. It's not just let me get to the outside and run down the sideline for 30, 40 yards. He can run between the tackles, and I know he's viewed as a third down type running back that's going to catch a lot of balls, but at the same time, he can definitely run inside. He's a powerful running back. So I would like to see what they do with him.
A lot of people are comparing him to Matt Breida. I think mainly due to the fact that they see undrafted free agent. Matt Breida was an undrafted free agent. How would you compare the two? Are they anything alike?
I mean, Breida, I was a fan of Breida, but we all knew that, he didn't have the wear and tear. He's not going to be the guy that's going to get double-digit carries. He's always going to be coming off the field limping. But that being said, we all saw he's got the boom as well. He can score on any play, on any touch of the field, whether we're at our own 10, 30, 40. He can take it to the house. I don't know if Jermichael's the same way. I don't think he's going to take it 80 yards. I don't believe that. But again, we don't need that to be the case. We just need him to be able to, positive game, 10 yards here, 5 yards there, and that's fine. We don't need to get that out of him. I mean, Mostert can do that. Coleman can do that. These guys showed that they can do that, so we don't really need him to replicate what Breida did for us.
Okay, good explanation. Yeah, Breida, man, I think he showcased it perfectly with that run against the Browns. The first play on offense, he took it to the house. That was just
correct.
What a better way to showcase your skills than that.
Exactly.
And Coach, you talked about it earlier. Nothing is really normal anymore. Stuff is kind of all over the place. What does a season in the NFL look like with COVID? How do you think they're managing these risks?
I mean, listen, let's be honest. I'll tell you right now, I'm out there 5 days a week on a football field coaching youth football. And the only difference is you're taking temperatures. That's it. So they can say it however they want to spin it. Social distancing is not happening. It's not. You saw it out in Nashville, right? They were nice and huddled up. So, I mean, they're going to do their best to maintain distancing. But at the end of the day, like I said, I mean, you're really not going to do much different than what you're doing now. Yes, take away the fans, right? So the players aren't going to go up to there and sign autographs and do that. But for the players in itself, I don't see much of a difference. I really don't. Are players going to get the virus? Yes. That's unfortunate. They're going to get it. They're going to, so we're going to see a difference in that. You're going to see some key players probably get that virus and miss some time. So, but the way a team's going to go about it differently, I don't see much of it different. Maybe they do. I mean, but again, it's just, there's not going to be much. I mean, as a coach that works with youth, it's, again, there's not much to it. Talking maybe a little bit different, but the players are all going to be bunched up. They're all going to be on the sideline. You're not going to get your 6 foot spacing like they think. This is, it's not real world. It's not going to, I don't think that's going to happen.
Yeah, it's not like the NBA. Even the NBA, they're not 6 feet apart, but they're able to have that bubble. That's not possible for the NFL. There's all these teams, and they just can't. I don't know how they're going to do it, but like you said, it's a physical game. These guys are going to be in the trenches. They're going to be constantly in and out of each other. So we'll see how it goes, I guess. But there's only so much that the teams can do from a management perspective, risk management perspective. So we'll just have to kind of bite the bullet and see how it happens. I co-host a show here on YouTube with Matt Llewellyn, and he's kind of a medical professional, and he's saying too, like, guys are going to get it. It's inevitable.
Yeah.
The more guys get it, kind of the better we should feel about it, because it's less of kind of that big, huge elephant in the room, and it's starting to happen. Let's just get this over with and move on. So I guess we'll see how it proceeds, but this NFL season is definitely going to be different than anything we've seen so far. Now, Coach, I have some rapid fire questions for you. You can answer them with as many or as little words as you like.
Okay.
First question for you: who's the best player on defense?
Nick Bosa. That's
Right.
it. I know these are rapid fire, but I'll tell you right now, if you remove one player from that defense, any one player, and you're going to feel the heat from it, it's going to be Nick Bosa. That's simple. He goes down, and the defense is totally different looking.
All right, I love it. Next question for you: what type of year does Jimmy Garoppolo have?
You're going to see an uptick in production. Obviously, you've seen me all over Twitter, just being a fan of him and flipping up tweets. So he's gonna silence a lot of doubters. And now we all saw it in the top 100, but I'm talking about all these so-called experts, that call him between the 15 and 20 range. No, he's going to be cemented as a top 10 across the board. He's going to put those numbers up. You're going to see 34 touchdowns, 4,400 yards passing. I could see that. You're going to see the 2017 mobility back for Jimmy. You saw signs of it in the second Rams game. You saw him get out of the pocket. So you're going to start seeing that, more of that. And he's going to be more comfortable with his reads as well, as he's had his first year under him. So he's going to be able, we're going to see some where he had open receivers and tight ends where he's going to see that this year. So I'm big on him this year.
All right, I love that. Yeah. One last question, then I'll have more of a fun question. Who has the better year out of Kendrick Bourne and Dante Pettis?
I keep saying that I want to see Pettis come back to his 2018 season, but I got to go KB. I mean, he was our biggest third down catcher, receiver. I don't know the exact. I think he had 13 first downs or touchdowns on third down. So I mean, he's still going to have a big year. Pettis just has to get out of his own way. He's got the talent. We've seen him make plays. I mean, he's got, wide receiver 2 potential. He does. I don't care what, a lot of doubters say about it, calling him soft and so forth. But he's definitely got W2 receiver potential. But I'm going to go with KB at this point here. We've seen what KB can do. We've seen him lead it a couple years ago as top receiver. So I'm sticking with KB.
Yeah, big fans of both of these guys, but totally agree. Dante Pettis, it's mainly he's his own worst enemy. He needs to just kind of get out of his own head and get out there on the field and start producing, because if he does, this wide receiver group is lethal. Last rapid fire question for you: is a thumb a finger?
Is a thumb a finger? I'm going to say yes.
All right.
Say yes. All right. I mean, how many fingers you got on your hand, right?
Good point. All right.
Say, well, I got 4 fingers. I'm going to say, I'm going to say 5. So, yeah, it's definitely.
All right. Thanks, Coach. Guys, make sure you go and follow him. His handle is below. Follow him on Twitter. He posts great videos, great breakdowns. Coach, thank you so much for joining me today. I had a blast.
Thanks for having me.